A lot of incorrect information goes around surrounding Mortal Kombat's story and lore, and the quality of the games, but one of the most egregious pieces of misinformation surrounds Jarek and what exactly went down back in MK4. And no, this isn't about people thinking he's gay or whatever, I already covered that a while ago. No, I'm talking about the question of which ending he features in is canonical. To summarise, 3 endings see him confront Sonya on the edge of a cliff. Sonya says the Black Dragon is dead, he runs at her, she sidesteps, and he falls off. In Sonya's ending, that's it. In Jarek's, he holds onto the side, throws Sonya off, and destroys her radio as Jax tries to reach her. In Jax's ending, he shows up right after this, meaning he must have been asking what happened to Sonya while he was in visual and audible range. He makes a Commando-esque quip,
"This is not a brutality, this is a fatality,"
and drops him. With Jarek absent from the next game and the one where Cabal revives the Black Dragon, we have to assume Jarek did, indeed, fall off, like modern MK's narrative. But 3 games after his supposed death, he's back in Armageddon, and he's one of the few characters to get a bio to explain his absence. According to him, what was done to me by the Special Forces could only be described as brutality. Haha, I get it. But that's fine, I can take it. What angered me was that somehow Jax found me. I covered my trail, kept to the shadows, but still I was routed out. Jax dropped me into a ravine, assuming that would be the end of me. It would have been if I hadn't thrust my weapon into the cliff wall to slow my descent. Now, I don't think I need to point out that this is not how any version of that scene played out, and Sonya is conspicuously not mentioned here. And the fact that Sonya's story in Deadly Alliance made no mention of her taking a tumble off a cliff indicates that it never happened. So either Armageddon retconned the scene to make Jarek less of an embarrassing failure, or, being told in first person by Jarek himself, he's lying to you. Falling off a cliff because someone sidestepped you is pretty pathetic, so it's easy to imagine why he'd be too embarrassed to admit he fell off harder than JoJo Part 6, and instead concoct this elaborate tale of being pursued by Jax and tossed off instead.
Phrasing.
And that, my friends, is my theory. Jarek got embarrassed by how much of a failure he is, and tried to slander my man Jax's good name by claiming he tossed him off without consent.
Hey, phrasing!
I will not stand for this flagrant abuse of the character bio system, Jarek. It's time for you to fall off yet again. If you liked this video, why not subscribe and support me on Patreon like these fine people here? If not, then make sure to share it with your enemies so they can suffer along with you. Today's recommended video is
The Black Dragon, live on!
Competitive History of Jarek by Ketchup and Mustard.